News Talk, Saga 960 Raw, Mike Richards, as we get to another Bell Lifestyle Corner. That's what we'll call it, where we find out all the things that we should be doing and probably aren't. Now, at this time of year, it's kind of interesting, hitting, spring. A lot of people thinking about golf, but now with the opening and the change of rules, gyms are pretty busy depending on when you go. Because there are those that realize it's summer weather and now we're outside. We kind of want the pants to fit, the shirt to look good. Maybe when the shirt comes off, like David Park, he'll go to a busy part of Toronto and the shirt comes off. Oh, are you a football player? No, I'm a superhero. Really? And right now he's looking like Clark Kent. Look at this sharp man with the hair cut nice and the glasses. It's like, how come we never see David Park and Superman around at the same time? Yeah, why is that, Dave? Why are you never there when Superman's there? I wonder why that is.
No, I think we're gonna have to meet together in real life, face to face, and then you can really see those pipes that I've been growing over the last 4 months.
That's right. The pipes. Don't mess with the pipes.
Yeah, the pipes.
Great to see you, my friend. Awesome. It's been a while, and there's certainly lots to talk about. But the one thing that people just sort of overlook a lot of times, they'll complain about it, but maybe not necessarily address it, and that's issues with the digestive system and digestion. It's like, oh, I just got this. I'll go to sleep. I'll whatever you think you got to do, as Homer Simpson would say, little beer put out that fire. We just trying to kind of avoid the actual issues. And I'll be honest, as someone who has survived rectal cancer, if you don't start addressing, certainly as a male in your 40s and 50s, when it comes to bowel movements, when it comes to whether you're bloated or not, I can tell you there's a lot of things you do. One, get a colonoscopy and make sure you get checked, certainly if it's in your family. But you kind of have to take a lot of this digestion, I think, a little more seriously and be just aware of what's going on in your body.
I think you're right, Mike. I think digestive concerns are huge, and issues like colitis, irritable bowel, Crohn's disease, and things just as simple as constipation, not having at least one bowel movement per day, or even waking up with a bloated belly in the mornings, or feeling bloated all day, excessive farting or excessive gas coming out. I mean, these are all small telltale signs that, look, you might need some help with your digestive tract. You might need some support. You're right.
Now, the one thing that I always found was interesting when some of these things that I had to address was about the chewing. They said, you have to chew a lot. And I was like, what? But that is actually something you really need to do, like sip and don't chug. Like there's a lot of stuff that you don't think of, but it's important.
Yeah, I think it's huge. I look at my kids chewing sometimes and they don't chew. It's just like they bite 3-4 times and then down the hatch it goes. But then I hear, like, as we get older, we should be chewing that many years, however many years we've lived. That's how many times we should chew when we put a bite of food in our mouth. And it really helps us mechanically break down the food. And a lot of the times it's overly processed food, but we have to mechanically break down these bits and particles of food so it's a little bit easier for our digestive system. Not to mention our saliva has some enzymes to help cut up the foods. So again, supporting our digestive system, which we often don't really do so much. But it is excellent that, Bell has a line of products that will help our digestion, that will help our gas, our bloating. And then, don't forget about those tips about digestion. Like you mentioned, like you had to chew a lot. We also have to sip and don't chug like liters and liters of water during your mealtime. You're diluting your enzyme activity. So try having that glass of water before or prior to your meals. And another thing that's important is you got to eat in peace. You got to eat in a relaxed state. You can't be wound up, feeling anxious, feeling guilty, feeling any of those emotions involved with eating, you're not going to have a very good digestive state in that point.
So are you saying tonight when I'm watching the national championship between North Carolina and Kansas, if they start missing free throws, and I'm like, for God's sakes, North Carolina, I mean, do I got to come down there and okay, just calm down. This is not the atmosphere I need for conducive eating, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, you don't want to be, munching on your steak, your potatoes, your rice. You want something a little bit more easier to digest, maybe some teas, like Bell Lifestyles has a great tea, and you can drink a tea while you watch a game, and instead of inundating ourselves with all this massive amounts of protein and carbs. You can have something that's a little bit more lighter on the palate.
Well, let's talk about the teas too, because our good friend David Bastel always, and probably still does, has the teas on the go, like all different kinds of teas, but he loves them. And by the way, he doesn't have them hot. He has them cold most of the time because I guess you can have it that way. But let's talk about some of those teas.
Yeah, a lot of the teas that are pretty popular, but one of the key things with Bell Lifestyles is that they also have they have the teas, but then for some people that don't really like to make a tea or to have the time to brew a tea, I know Dave Basto, he used to make a few liters in advance, and then he would just put it in the fridge and take it out every so often. But for those people that are not close by a fridge, they can always take capsules that will support their digestion. I think with the capsules route, I think it's a little bit more effective. I think it's going to be because it's immersed in your body, and it's going to help with digestion, with bloating, with gas. One of the key products that I really like in terms of overall digestive state is a product. It's called number 39. It's called Acidic Stomach Alkaline Balance. I love that product. It's excellent.
Now, why would someone be taking this? Like if someone's listening this morning going, okay, that sounds good. Why am I taking number 39?
Okay, so this product, amazing for heartburn, for indigestion, for acid reflux, for that sour taste in your mouth, or that or that burning that we get coming up towards the esophagus into the throat. That acid is usually we actually don't produce enough, and sometimes when we don't produce enough, there's a valve that opens and closes, and it will open up if we don't support our digestion. So taking this product is great because it has a lot of herbs that kind of settle and relax our digestive state. Things like rosemary, alfalfa, spirulina. So there's a lot of nutritive herbs in this formula. I love it. It's a great formula.
Now, this is something, as you said, you would take on a daily basis, correct?
Yeah, you could use the Acidic Stomach Alkaline Balance on a daily basis. And yeah, it has a lot of chlorophyll-rich nutrients, and that's a pretty trendy buzzword nowadays. The chlorophyll, which is the green pigment in plants, it actually helps deodorize us from the inside, so we could use less deodorant even.
Well, I wouldn't suggest that part. Let's not lose our heads here. Let's. Have you been on the TTC? Yeah, we don't need to be telling people to not do that. But it is now. Here's another issue too, which people always talk about these cleanses. Oh, I was just on a 7-day cleanse. I was on a whatever cleanse, and I'm like, oh, okay. Now, not that that's not important, but when you look at the product number 74, Colon Care and Cleanse, once again, it gets a little closer to the world that I've had to live in and be careful about. So why would you do this, and how do you do it? How does number 74 work?
Well, it's good that you mentioned that because we did talk about digestive care earlier, and our colon is like 40 feet away from 50, 60 feet away from our mouth. It's a far ways away. And so to support our colon, there's a product made by Bell Lifestyles. It's called number 74, Colon Care and Cleanse. And it's formulated to help support proper elimination, proper bowel movements. And we should achieve 2, maybe even 3 bowel movements per day. It rids the body of toxins. The colon gets impacted with a lot of waste. So we need to get things moving through. And the colon care and cleanse, it's got a lot of good herbs that a lot of people are talking about nowadays. Things like turmeric extract, quercetin, another hot product, especially during the coronavirus times. It's been one of those natural supplements that has really helped people with their immune system as well. So not only is their colon going to be supported, but also their immune system. Other ingredients like green tea extract, resveratrol, so very potent antioxidants that even slow down the aging process for us. And lastly, there's things like vitamin D, selenium, so a lot of micronutrients that support the colon care as well. Um, Colon is a huge part going forward, especially, someone like yourself who has gone through some of the trials, right?
Mhm.
This product would be amazing for individuals like yourself.
Now, you hear a lot of people talking about, oh, it's on a 30-day cleanse. What are they talking about? What are people doing? And is this something that is healthy? Because it seems like these are the kinds of exercises that can be trendy. You can see them in magazines, and here's what you do. What is the benefit, and do people actually do it right when you start talking about these cleanses?
Let's hope so. I mean, those people that I talk to personally that have done cleanses, I always hear good news afterwards. And it's because, we have to let them know the right things. And what are the right things is that when you do a detox or a cleanse, expect maybe even a headache or itchy skin, or, it's called a healing crisis, where the first couple of days you might not feel the greatest. You might even get a headache. But as you're cleansing your body, you're also changing your palate. Your body will actually want different things. Your body will crave nutrition, and the taste for certain foods will also change as well. So when you start a cleanse, continue the cleanse, and then be mindful of what you're eating. And you will, if you stick to the cleanse and steer away from some of those things that are not very good for our colon or for our digestive tract, then you will find better bowel movements. You'll feel more energy, clear-headed, no fogginess, no headaches. So I think doing a detox and or a cleanse once in a while, is maybe like once a season or even 2-3 times a year. It's a wise thing to do, especially with all the yummy foods we have in front of us all the time.
Well, what are some of those foods that are challenging for our system? Like, what are the sort of usual suspects that when you're looking at your diet, it's like, okay, the more you eat this, the tougher it is on your system. Who are the usual suspects?
I think the usual suspects could be wheat and gluten, dairy, cheeses, sauces, a lot of the sugars, um, high cooked foods, overly processed foods, everything that I grew up on.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of those things I love.
Yeah, being born
Sauces. I put sauces on everything. I mean like in French cooking. So I'm always having some sort of wine, cream. I do it. It's in a peppercorn sauce. Yeah, I kind of love that stuff.
I love it. It's actually make my mouth water as you say those things. And
So we then have to look after it by using some of these products.
exactly. I think once in a while, indulging in our foods, being creative with in the kitchen, and making some nice, Gordon Ramsay type style dishes.
Yes.
Yeah, I love watching these cooking shows, but I think we can have these wonderful foods once in a while, but making sure that, we don't go far away from our teas, our digestive support products, and being mindful of what we're eating, what we're putting in our bodies. That's key.
Just so you know, when I'm cooking by myself in the kitchen, I will yell at myself like Gordon Ramsay. I'll be sitting there in the kitchen. I'll just like, oh dear. Oh, come on. And I just like, the people are like, who's down there? I hear some voices. No, it's just him. You're burning it. Donkey. You've lost your mind. I'm like, I'm sorry, chef. It's like, does Bell have anything for people who hear voices? I don't want to take it. Probably that'll end the career. That's half of what I've done for a living. Hey, great. And I think I'm hopefully going to see you now that restrictions are off, and the store is open. People are coming into the Nutrition House in Square One.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. We're seeing pre-pandemic numbers and connecting back with our customers again, and a lot of the old faces are coming through around, which is great. We love them so much, and it's just a good feeling now that the malls are a little bit more busier and it's more active, and families are going through and little kids are running around. It's great. I love it.
It's great to hear. It's as I said, you do a wonderful job for the people who go to your store, and they know it. That's why they come back. So David, thanks so much. It's great to catch up again. Hopefully we'll do it again real soon, and maybe you get a chance to see each other. You never know.
Awesome.
I didn't see those pipes up close.
You can't wait. Summertime.
There it is. Thanks a lot, David.
Thanks, Mike.
Dave Park from Nutrition House Square One joining us here this morning, talking a little digestion, amongst other things that are important that sometimes we look over. That's why you use our products from our great friends at Bell Lifestyle Products.